Dear friends in Dhamma, fellow seekers on this noble path, today we come together, not just in a shared space, but in shared presence, a presence deeper than thought, subtler than breath, and more luminous than the stars above. This presence, this vast, silent awareness, is your true home. It doesn't belong to anyone, yet it is entirely yours. Within this awakened stillness lies a kind of happiness far beyond what the senses can offer. Let us reflect on something simple but profound. What is the nature of joy? Is it the innocent smile of a child, the sweetness of a melody, the scent of a flower, the warmth of a loving touch? These are beautiful, yes, but they come and go. They're joys born of the senses, and like all things conditioned, they pass. But the Dhamma points us toward a joy that doesn't fade, a happiness untouched by gain or loss, praise or blame. This is the joy of a heart unbound. Today, I'd like to speak about Pīti and sukha, rapture and happiness, not the kind found in worldly pleasures, but the kind that blossoms in higher states of consciousness, the kind that can be touched during deep meditation. Few may have tasted it, but it is available to all who sincerely walk the path. Let us explore this mystery, this clarity, this freedom. Ordinary joy versus supramundane joy. Most of what we call happiness in daily life is tied to conditions: a warm cup of tea, a cool breeze, a kind word. These moments are pleasant, but fleeting. Our culture teaches us to collect such moments, stringing them together like beads and calling it a good life. But what happens when the tea cools, the breeze dies down, or the conversation ends? Often, a subtle longing arises. The joy fades, and a shadow follows. That's because ordinary joy is built on shifting sands. Yet there is another kind of joy, one that doesn't depend on getting what we want. A joy that doesn't vanish when circumstances change. It is the joy of stillness, the joy of release. In the Pali Canon, the Buddha speaks of Pīti, rapture, and sukha, pleasure. These are not just emotional moods. They are living energies. They arise from solitude, from simplicity, from ethical living and inner clarity. They are the fragrance of a well-kept life and a mind in balance. The joy of the first jhana. Let me share a personal story, so this doesn't remain abstract. Early in my monastic life, I spent time meditating in a quiet forest hermitage. The sounds of birds, the rustle of leaves, the distant thunder of a waterfall, they were all there, but slowly they fell into the background. I was simply sitting, gently aware of the breath. Then something shifted. The breath became beautiful, not just neutral or calming, but radiant. It was no longer a practice or a technique. It felt like the breath itself was bathing me in golden light. A gentle tingling followed. Warm, blissful, serene. Not frantic or ecstatic, but steady and luminous. It felt as if every cell in my body was smiling. Soon even the breath disappeared. What remained was radiance and joy. This is Pīti, the rapture of the first jhana. It's not mystical in the sense of being far away. It's mystical because it's beyond ordinary thinking. And yet, it's entirely natural. Entirely human. Tasting higher realms of mind. You might ask, Ajahn, are these just pleasant sensations? What makes them spiritual? It's a good question. These joys are not just pleasant, they're freeing. They unify the mind. They elevate it. After tasting the joy of meditation, desire for ordinary pleasures naturally fades. Not because you force it, but because you're simply not interested anymore. It's like drinking pure spring water after a life of soda. You don't decide to give up soda. It just stops appealing to you. The mind that rests in jhana is temporarily touching the higher realms. The Deva Loka, the heavenly planes, aren't just future destinations. They can be tasted now through the still, luminous mind. And here's the astonishing truth. You could be alone in a silent cave for weeks and feel more joy than someone in the midst of music, crowds, and celebration. That is the radical message of the Dhamma. True joy comes not from acquiring but from letting go. Steps toward meditative joy. How then do we open ourselves to this joy? 1. Ethical living. Sila. Joy rests on virtue. Without it, the heart is restless. Guilt, regret, and fear disturb the waters. But with ethical clarity, the mind can rest. It feels safe. 2. Guarding the senses. Indriya samvara. Our world is noisy, outside and inside. To taste deep happiness, we must quiet both. Reduce stimulation, reduce inner commentary. 3. Contentment. Santuti. Be happy with little. A warm meal, a peaceful space, a steady practice. Contentment is the soil where joy grows. 4. Mindfulness of breath, anapanasati. Watch the breath not as a chore but as a companion. Let it become something you cherish. When the breath becomes sweet, the mind will follow. 5. Letting go, vasaga. Don't grip your meditation. Don't chase results. Let go of striving. Joy arises when we stop trying to force it. Let it come like sunlight through an open window. The weaver's daughter. There's a story in the suttas about a young girl, the daughter of a weaver. She heard the Buddha speak just once during a visit to her town. Her heart was ready. She listened deeply, reflected, and attained stream entry. She had no temple background, no teacher, no monastic training. Yet her mind opened. Later, while carrying a basket of cotton, she was suddenly struck by a cart and died. But because of her inner awakening, she was immediately reborn in the Tusita heaven. Her joy didn't come from possessions or status. It came from clarity, from inner freedom, the loop of joy and generosity. When joy arises from within, it overflows. It touches others. A peaceful person changes the room. A joyful monk changes the forest. Even animals respond to it, and from joy comes generosity, not as a duty but as a delight. True joy doesn't cling, it gives, and the more you give, the freer you feel. The freer you feel, the more you give. This is the divine loop, the joy that sustains itself. Final reflections. Nibbana, the ultimate joy. Beyond even the brightest meditative joy lies Nibbana, the unconditioned, the deathless. It is the end of all clinging, and with it, the end of all sorrow. But it is not empty in the cold sense. It is full of peace, full of silence that sings. The Buddha called it the highest bliss, not because it excites, but because it liberates. As you taste deeper joy through practice, your confidence in the Dhamma grows. Not blind faith, but the faith that comes from seeing for yourself. So I encourage you, sit, breathe, watch gently, smile softly. Let go, let stillness deepen, and when joy comes, don't cling, just welcome it like an old friend. Let it bless you, heal you, teach you, and remember, this joy isn't yours, it's not personal, it's the resonance of truth, echoing through the open heart. May your path be filled with joy. May your joy lead to freedom. May your freedom bring peace to all beings. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.